Welcome in, guys, for our Thursday night review. We've got plenty of scores to go through, lots of relevant guys, and a decent amount of scores over the 50 mark in this game, which is good. And hopefully you end up taking one of the guys in this range. And we do have to kick it off with just saying that the Rabbitohs don't look great at all. I'm not excited by what they're throwing out at the moment. Obviously, with a few guys out, I do think Whiten is really going to help them. And that right edge defense for them at the moment is just not good enough, unfortunately. So you've got couple of weeks in a row now where an outside back has done really, really well against these guys. You had obviously Kenner score some tries last week, but struggled in this one. You had Cobbo absolutely torch them this week. And I do want to say as well, I do think center is now it's becoming the position. So the trend last year is we did see a lot of guys in the center position average out over 40. And typically it's been a position that's been really, really poor. And I just want to note early that I do think that, and it's helping me with my excitement around Taylor May, is that the center position is very, very strong. And I do think there are going to be multiple guys here in that sort of 45 plus range this year. The way that teams play, it's the games are fast. They tire guys out through the middle and then they just fang it out to the left and right, especially in this team here. And these guys are absolutely pure athletes in these center positions, and Cobbo absolutely showed that with 8 tackle breaks, big run meters there at 175. He had a couple of line breaks in that and a try assist. Just shows that what these guys can do. So defensively, he was much better in this game. Still had his errors, still had a penalty. He got out of his in goal to get a couple of points there as well. So these guys there's a lot of dual position players as well. So hopefully, we can get some good scores out of Carraz and stuff like that as well. But if you did start with Selwyn Cobbo, you're really happy with this. Obviously, a pretty slow first game for him. But now the 75 gets into a 55 average to kick things off. And we'll get his money making starting to kick off. And 9.3% of teams owned. Congrats to all you guys. Big news here, guys. The Reece Walsh situation with Adam Reynolds. So I just got some news from NRL Physio that unfortunately, and we're hoping and praying, prayers up for Reno, he's going to get his ACL checked today. So they're testing on field because I think he's had some previous issues with it. It's inconclusive, so it's very hard to tell on field with those types of injuries, and there is some worries. We do hope that that Reno is okay, and if he's not, Reece Walsh becomes a very, very interesting player. So he ended up kicking for 227 meters. He did have a forced dropout in that as well. And he had 2 goals. So he took the goal kicking over Katoni Staggs, which obviously puts him into another bracket in a team that's going to be really good. Obviously, the Reynolds injury, if that was the case, if he was out for a good amount of time, that would stunt the Broncos a little bit. But Walshy comes into contention as a really, really good option. Obviously, with a 58 2-round average, very, very consistent. Obviously, gets involved in the tries, the try assist. But him priced under 50 could be a 55 type of guy and a little bit undervalued for sure. And they don't have a buy all the way until he'll play Origin most likely, right? So all the way until then, and you could sell at that point most likely. So Walshy there, that's all you need to know on this situation at the moment. He's still a really good play, and for those that do have him at 30%, very, very impressive. There's that many people. Then you've done great. Shout out to my missus that ends up with Walsh, Carrigan in this game. So two of the biggest scorers there, and obviously Piakura as well. So the should just go well when the Broncos play. It seems to be the case, right? Most Broncos seem to score well, especially in the in their key positions. Like Reynolds is a 50 guy, Carrigan's a near 60 guy, Haas is a 65 guy. Again, gun outside backs like Cobbo, even when he was on the wing, can do well also. So yeah, that's where you end up if you do select a bunch of Broncos players. So what you're happy there is a massive bounce back from Paddy Carrigan there. 76 minutes, got the early mark after they won the game, and 59 points. So running for 222 meters to not have a tackle break is pretty hilarious, but a couple offloads there, and only 1 missed tackle. So big news for Carrigan there. You get him back to a 50 average after he played on the edge. So hopefully that stops now, and it was great to see Piakura get through a full game. So yeah, exactly what you want to see as a Carrigan owner, as a Brennan Piakura owner as well. So yeah, Carrigan got through work. Expect him to be in the high 50s as he was last year. Payne Haas, 56. So there has been a few changes on the NRL app. Not sure if they're going to stick. It seems like they've made a second change. So they fixed it up in updates, right? Haas got to 56. He's down to 54 in the app. Murray is 51. He's up to 52 with an extra tackle. Payne Haas, they've taken away one tackle break. He gained a couple overnight. I don't remember seeing him get that many tackle breaks, but anywho. So if they've taken one off, he'll be a 54. Murray's a 52, and I believe they've put Duncan up to about 22 or 23. So that's what you're looking at with those guys there as well. And let's just check it here. We have Duncan at 22. Yeah, pretty much every other player is exactly the same as what they've been updated to. Yeah, guys like Shaq Mitchell, all the like there. So yeah, just want to let you know that might update in the next few days, and they're not big changes, so that's fine anyway. But him, guys, did pick up they mentioned before he went off there, he was kind of dealing with a bit of a knee. He did grab at the knee kind of a couple of minutes before they took him off, but they said it on the commentary that he was dealing with it for about 15 minutes. I'm not sure on the truth of that. I didn't see it in the earlier section, but he did come off with a 30. He did come back, and still, like, he's just incredible. No negatives, 7 tackle breaks, 186 meters, 24 tackles. So if you did captain this week, obviously you had the big one with the 76 last week, but that was with massive minutes. And for him to play 56, the point a minute, you take it. It's obviously, 8 points or 9 points, I suppose, with his uptick under where he's priced at. But again, you got the 76 last week, so it's 66 over the 2 weeks. Very happy with that, right? Not a problem at all. Our main worry with him is his performance level. Can he keep it up? It did look like he was kind of veering away a little bit from getting some of those extra carries that he might usually take and get him over to the 200 meter plus range. But hopefully he's fine. Very limited training for him this week. Like, he's not someone that you need to flog. He's absolutely got the work ethic and the motor to get through on sort of light duties and look after his knee this week and have him back to full health for next week. And that's the plan and the hope for Payne Haas and his owners. Renault, so we're worried about him, obviously, but a good score again, 56 and 58 across his 2 weeks. So awesome. Couple of goals. Could have got a couple more at the end if he was on and into the 60s. So if you do own Renault, we are worried, but hopefully he is okay. Avili, I saw a couple of people boasting that they picked him up this week. So yeah, well done in the end. He got less than 30 last week. So yeah, it would have been a tough sell to try and get him in. But I try assist in a space of a couple of minutes. Did really, really good work. And he's very important to this side. What they do with this edge and mid situation, it's absolutely criminal that they can be playing Murray on an edge for that long and not use him. Like, I think we haven't got to him yet, have we? No, he's coming up in a sec. But yeah, let's just talk about it now while we're here. So why he is on the edge and you're not even using him? Like, 78 run meters is disgusting for someone that's that important. Like, if you're going to use him on an edge, get him hitting some lines. Stop using him as a decoy. Not much is happening out the back. Like, they don't have the cattle at the back to be able to beat guys one-on-one and the like. So use Murray on the short ball. Get his hands on the ball. Like, he's just flogging himself defensively. Like, I don't think it would have mattered edge or middle for those tackles. Like, 46 for 3 misses. That's just how it's going to be. Absolutely cooked himself in this game. And he deserves better. That final effort that he put in. He put that little grubber in. It set up nicely for the bat back. He gets there in time, bats it back, and there's not one person in the vicinity. It goes straight to a Bronco. I'm really worried about where the Bunnies are at because, yes, that was in the last minute. If they score the try, they probably, don't get too much of an opportunity. I think they might have had like 20 seconds or something to go down and score again. But to have no effort on that, yes, it would have been like, what? I think 5 points, obviously, for Murray with the try assist on that. But, yeah, they're not a big difference for us score-wise, but I think the Bunnies deserve better. The fans deserve better than that. We know that Murray's just the guy that just puts in. He looks like he's about to pass out at the end of games. That's how hard he's working. And, the other guy's just not in it as much as he is. Obviously, being the captain, we know how hard he takes games, but something like that, when they're still, they were 10 behind. It's not like they were 30 behind. That's really, really, really important that they need to fix that. They need to sort out Murray. Like, he's not an edge. He needs to be in the middle. This team needs to be sorted out. Obviously very hard, but does Jacob Host come back into this team and play edge? Is that the play? Duncan played sort of 10 minutes on the edge at the end of the game. So is that the way they try to go with this team? And maybe he can train there and then play there? I think they need to try something, unfortunately, because at the moment it's not good enough. So Murray with the 51, 52, whichever one it is, it's fine because Haas is either 54 or 56 and you've got him at 100k more expensive, Payne Haas. And they're only a few points different. So either way that you own, you're not unhappy, I don't think. Obviously, you want both of them to be higher, but this is a type of game. I don't think Murray was going to get more than the 50 because the tackle numbers were high. He did have negative 10 overall, an error and a penalty, but he needed more run meters and then an offload or a couple of tackle breaks. And a few of the guys in the private group chat are pioneering for the offload that he got when Pikura popped out the back. He caught it, was getting tackled and popped it off. So we're pioneering for the extra offload to make it like a 55, which would be fun. But yeah, that's that. Latrell Mitchell absolutely got saved with a try as well. And just to finish off with Havili, at 38 minutes, he's not going to be a buy at the price over 400k now. You just can't, I don't think, with him. He'd need more minutes than that. Not going to get the attacking stats each and every week. Latrell, yeah, is also the one they're pioneering for the try saver for Murray, who was first contact, and then these guys come right over the top and kind of do a lot less than what Murray did and get that try saver. I think Kepi got one as well, the boys were saying. So yeah, that's that. Latrell, awesome long range try to save his score. He's about the 30 mark or less, 28 or something, and then got that. So yeah, it worked out well for owners of him. They got a little bailout, but yeah, these are the things that he can do. The junk tries, the game winners, he can do it all, right? So good stuff. 15% own him. Stagsy looking better and better. Another 132 meters in his as a notch in his belt. Good stuff for that. Yeah, 41 and 40. So good consistent scores, but he's priced accordingly. Totola got a nice bump up overnight. I think it was 34, 35. But yeah, really looking at Totola with 40 and 52 minutes. So one of those missed tackles there, he just like was a turnstile. So there's definitely some worries in this pack, and I do expect him still to play close to the 50 minutes, but they've got to sort things out because, Shaq Mitchell came out and did a great job. 24 tackles for no misses, 80 run meters there. And he's 31 minutes on the park, so to get near the 100 meter mark with an offload as well shows that the quality that he possesses. So he's someone that probably deserves a couple more minutes if he's fit enough as well. So yeah, that's something to note. Yeah, Totola, yeah, that 40 I think means you can hold him now, which is good if you did decide to stick strong. And at that price, like if you can get a 40 on a weekly basis, he'll, now averaging 36. He was priced at 35 coming into this, right? Or 34. So he's a guy that now is a little bit over what you paid for him and probably only goes up that little bit further. If you can hit a 40 here in the next few weeks, he'll make a bit of cash. If you can sneak a 45 out of him with, maybe one or two less missed tackles or an offload in there, then happy days. All right, guys, we got one back over the non-Piakura owners. So there are 55% of them, and a lot of these are in the top sort of 30,000 ranks. After getting 0 last week, we get 40 this week, and we've bounced back. So happy days for Brendan on this one. 4 tackle breaks, 26 tackles for 3 misses. Not amazing, but this is what we expect from Brendan. That he's not a massive base stat guy, but 105 meters with some tackle breaks. Has scope for going over for tries and try assists in this team. His footwork's absolutely incredible. Pristine, that is. And a 366, he'll be lower than this next week, and then he'll start making money from next week if he scores another 40. So good news if you did hold on. I hope that most people did. There were sort of 2.5 or 3% of teams deleting him from their squad after the 0, but he's way too cheap and a starting 80-minute back rower in a really good team. Just a must-have and a must-hold. So, yeah, 40, good. We'll take it. And let's get the money-making going. Walker, really happy with his defense, but outside of that, attack-wise, very, very stale. I think, unfortunately, as I said, this Bunnies team just needs to sort things out. Not as bad as what Knights looked. So, hopefully they can, turn it around. Mariner with 2 tries. He is lightning quick, isn't he? So, he will need a bunch of tries to get his, price rises going. And needs to sort out these meters gained as well. So coming out of trouble, he needs to be a tackle breaking 150 meter plus guy to be worth it, I think, in our sides. I did say he'd probably start a little bit slower, but looks like he's locked down this spot and he'll start to make money soon. He's just going to hang at his price for a little bit. I did call, I think he'll make some money eventually there. Shaq Mitchell, 36, as we said. Walters, 35. Yeah, again, he's not a player to have. He's 11% owned. He's just going to sit around this mid-30s. The PPM is not good enough. Kepi with the try saver, as we said, 35 in 41 minutes. So the minutes are there. He does stay on for longer than Totola, but Totola came on with sort of 30 to go and played the rest of the game out. So the Cappuccino, if you do own him, it's not panic stations. He'll make a little bit of money with that 35, but don't expect a lot going forward. Someone that we are worried about is Damien Cook. So he did have the sin bin, which hurt. That cost him 10 minutes and and 7 points, right? So 38 on that. But to not play the full 80 outside of that, and Havili was playing at 9 for a bit, is that signs of things to come for Damien there, especially with really the game in the balance, a few tries down. For him to not play the rest of the game, a little bit frustrating at that. You do have to watch him for another week and hope things just return after a poor game with the sin bin. And I suppose that's all you really have to say on Cook. Just wasn't his game. Obviously, last week he had like the assist, the try saver, and a turnover tackle as well. So there's a lot there to get him up to a 60. And then this was a game just without those type of stats, sadly. Tapu Moale got a try, a nice one at that. Good pass from Havili. But that's it on him. 30 minutes won't be enough, especially with the PPM that he possesses. All right, Jensen got 34 minutes this week. It's a lot lower than I thought it was going to be. He came on with a very short amount of time to go in the second half for a tiny stint, basically, when he just came on. I think, it was 7 or 8 minutes to go, 10 minutes to go, whatever it was, to get to that 34 mins. But works really hard, does good things. That really stunts his price growth after his 22k rise last week. If you do own him at 2%, hopefully it's a changing minutes week to week and he's back to like a 45 next week. Jesse Arthurs, what a fun player to watch, hey? Ends up with this is back to some of his norm, but he keeps getting attacking stats, so it's always going to help. But a line break, a try assist, and a try, and a turnover tackle, and he gets 28. That's absolutely incredible. That's what this man can do. But that does stunt his price growth a little bit. He will go up a bit more after his big score in round 1 at 40. But if he can have a game where he doesn't score any tries or anything, he does look better, obviously, but the meters gained is the worry. You saw it's low for him and Mariner in this game in the 80s each. So, maybe it's just the way the game panned out because, other guys in the middle, Carrigan, Haas, got lots of meters. Wasn't happening as much with the outside backs. But do remember as well, this game, Bunnies, they completed 60%. So that's not a lot of kicking downtown and getting some run meters for these outside backs. So I'm going to put it down to that. And hopefully a bit of a bounce back for those guys that own Arthurs and the like, 30% of them, 28 points. It's not the best in the world, but you're not crying over that either. Colin Matangi, again, needs to get himself involved a bit more, given he's such a premier forward in this game. But not a lot of ownership there, 4.7. Yeah, it's a bit, but hopefully a bounce back for him. Jordan Ricky, this was an interesting one. I had a few people messaging me about Jordan, and I thankfully and hopefully pushed them away from Ricky. The way I spoke about it was, guys, it was 1 week. He made 51 tackles. Show me him doing this on a week-to-week basis, and I'll say that he's a buy. He is just a 40s guy, overall, a low 40s guy. And that was a bit of an outlier game. It showed here that he'll go 27, and then the next game he'll go 55 with a try. He'll go 40 just in base. He's all over the shop. Super hard to own, super hard to catch in at the right time, because he's very hard to get some consistency out of him. So I do hope that people avoided him. But again, I'm just under 5% owned. Hetherington, man, there was a couple of bad drops from him. One that was just an absolute sure try that I think off Carrigan, just putting on an absolute dime for him on his chest and just bottled it. So Carrigan could have got even more points there for sure. Baker, 24 minutes. He's not the guy at all. For anyone that did grab him, just the minutes aren't there. We thought that maybe he'd get the main gig, and sort of it is Jensen, but even that was lower for him at 34. You got Hetherington 29. Baker's coming back from injury as well, so that's kind of why we end up jumping off. Richie Kenner, 24. So this was never going to be great in this type of game when they were getting beat. Obviously, they got beat in the other one, but he got attacking stats. 3 missed tackles and an error. 15 tackles for 3 misses isn't terrible, but 24 there for you. Buy him this week. He could be out of the team next week, and I think that's probably going to be how it will be. Kenner will be out, although Tass didn't look incredible. But again, who defensively is usually better? We've seen it from Tass for a long time. Defensively, he's usually solid, but God, he's going to be cheap shortly. We'll talk about him in a sec, but Kenner, I think we're worried about him losing spot to Whiten next week. Ezra, man, we'll leave your list, guys. He's not fantasy relevant. You need to sell if you do own him, the 2%. Mam, if you'd still, again, 22% own him, he's a sell, guys. He was never a buy. He's now going to go down another 30-odd K, so he'll be under 400K. There'll be times where he does play well and he scores tries and the like, but when he doesn't, it's disgusting. He only missed 4 in the end. I was really hoping that Murray would get a few more tackle breaks on him, but it just wasn't to be. He defended a lot better. But attacking-wise, he had a turnover tackle, he had an offload, and he still only can get 19 points. It's not good enough. Get him out of your side. Duncan, 22, I think he ended up with in the 30 minutes. So once he got moved to the bench, guys, that was very clearly a no-go, just because you know that he was going to play probably fairly low minutes at that as a bench forward, and sort of played 20 in the middle and then played 10 on edge at the end. Worked hard, but missed some tackles. He had a couple of inside 10 meters as well, so not great. Penalties, I should say. Inside 10 penalties. Not great on his front. If you did buy him in the end, 5.4% owned now. You are worried about it, and you're very much hoping that they just decide to put him on the edge next week for good minutes, and he should be able to score well. But yeah, him moving to the bench, if you didn't see it late, then that's I'm sorry for that, for talking him up as a potential buy. I ended up saying at the end of my videos just to hold off with Tass, just because we're not sure what's going to happen with minutes. Is he just going to play some middle? End up, not even starting. So yeah, check out those final hour before team lists. It's very, very helpful for your sides in your decisions you make. But yeah, let's finish with Isaiah Tass, guys. So 11 points in 80 minutes. That's a 19 and an 11 to kick things off, which is not great. And he's going to go down at least 35K, I believe, and mid 400s now. If we can get him under 400K, and then the bunnies start to click a little bit, and he's in this side, and he's like a mainstay in this side, which we think he should be. He just had a really, really tough start. The effort in getting meters gained does not mean high, so we need that up. And keep an eye out on him. Obviously, keep an eye out on Mam as well. If he averages like 15 over the first bunch and he gets down to like 300, then he could be a buy again if the Broncos start to hum. But if you're holding Willison, guys, it's almost a hold at this point because there's an opportunity for him at some point for sure. We'll have to see how Haas's knee has ended up after it gets a bit cool overnight. But that's where we're at with this game, guys. There's a lot in it. Both teams are pretty poor. Like Broncos are 71% completion, Rabbitohs was 60. It was pretty gross. So hopefully that can improve over the next couple of games. We do have Sharky, so if you do have Nicho Hynes as captain, good luck to you. We have a lot of Dogs players in this game as well, so praying and hoping for a Karaz masterclass and hopefully a closer game so we can get some good points out of Karaz, out of Salmon, and Hutcho and the like there. So a big game for us, having lots of Dogs, and then we have the Panthers up against the Eels, which is going to be fun as well. Let me know in the comments if you jumped on Bryce Cartwright after that week, and if you have Cleary as captain. Thanks guys for that one. We'll see you in the next one.